hole with a berry. A coin comes out. But right after the night comes, the star-headed figure says you don't want to stay up too late. Also, there's a pig bank with weird eyes above the bed, and the bed also have eyes. This is the start of Berry Bury Berry, a very mysterious game that hides a tragic truth. Your role here is simple: feed the hole more and more. Right off the bat, the night draws your attention. The whole happy or maybe fake happy vibe, it shifts to suspense. It feels like something's going to happen if you don't follow the instructions. Not that there seems to be any other alternative at the moment. One detail that makes everything even more bizarre, which I already mentioned, is the fact that some things have human eyes, like the sun, the bed, the radio. After feeding the hole a bit, the hole grows larger. You are doing great, appears. The star-headed figure is watching from up there. Even the pipe have eyes. And by the way, occasional stars will emerge from this pipe after feeding the hole. I can use these stars to upgrade my berry buddies. The buddies have cartoon faces and eyes, and my magical end also have the same human eyes. Almost as if some things were alive. Now I can move the hole and I can consume the props like the rock. So I think my next goal is this: consume everything. I notice now at night the hole is following me. A few minutes later, I use my coins to get a hammer, and of course, I follow the instructions to use the hammer with a lot and very responsible, breaking the walls that reveal a big world surrounded by more fake walls, revealing some puzzles and a little office with an PC and a lot of mysterious things. The PC needs a password. I have a new goal now that is solve the puzzles to maybe get the PC password, but I still feeding the hole and consuming all the props I can meanwhile. The first puzzle is a memory puzzle. If you fail, I need to wait until the next day to try again, so it doesn't take long for it to be solved, revealing a very weird black star and more weird images. It's clear that these images are related to the PC password, but took me a time to solve it. The solution is you have to focus on the sound of the words like B, I, Q, and T. So that's the solution of the goal that reveals the password. But before that, I found my first tape.
To whom it may concern. How do you start one of these? My name is Donna Bellinger, and I know what happened to Barry Pomeroy.
Okay, now we have two names, Donna Bellinger and Barry Pomeroy. It seems like something happened with Barry, and by the look of it, Donna knows something. This is the beginning of this mysterious and bizarre story with Donna and Barry. I finally solved the puzzle and get the PC password. First, to get to the PC trash bin, I need 7 black stars. I have just 1 at the moment. Checking the email, April 11, 1996. Richard from Public Education Broadcasting sent an email to Donna by mistake. In the email, he tells to Barry that he had the final say in how he runs his production. In the browser, there is 2 saved new articles. First one from Newshole, very cool name, April 16, 1996. The news says that Barry Pomeroy, an award-winning producer of children's shows, have been reported missing. He has been working in the town of Holloway, producing Miserable Berry Patch, and was last seen at the Starshine Studios. Donna Bellinger is the creator and lead actress of Miserable Berry Patch. Donna confirms Barry had stayed after hours to review archive footage and finalize materials for an upcoming episode. The next news, one from 1 month ago, March 5th, 1996. Seems like a local news from the city of Holloway. The news talks about this new show being filmed in this city. Donna Bellinger seems happy to the show is happening here and seems very excited for the show. The news says that some parents have voiced concerns that the show tone can feel unsettling for young viewers. Donna responds saying, "The show is not scary on purpose. Sometimes learning is uncomfortable." The production of the show is operating on a tight budget. Also, Donna doesn't seem to be listening or caring much about the criticisms and follows her instincts. Lastly, there's a smoothie idea, so probably an answer for a future puzzle. Well, after all this initial lore, I go back to feeding the hole and consuming all the props I can and upgrade more and more. While I was trying to make the hole consume more props, I found the second tape.
On Friday, April 12th, we had a short shooting day, and the rest of the crew was leaving early. Barry reached out to me via email that morning about staying later to talk about things. He knew that I already knew what the meeting was about. He wanted to have a face-to-face, so I began planning.
So, on April 12th, Barry scheduled a meeting with Donna. There was a tense atmosphere between Donna and Barry. Donna ends the tape saying that was when she started planning. After progressing further, I upgrade the hammer and I can break the second layer of walls, revealing an even larger area with larger props and additional layer of walls. There are numbers on the walls, so probably for a radio puzzle. I used the numbers on the radio puzzle. Solving this, I get my second black star. Also, solving this puzzle reveals another tape.
I entered the building and disabled the security system. We've had recent issues with our passwords being shared and figured it would be a plausible explanation for a break-in.
In this one, Donna says she entered the building, probably the studio, and disabled the security system. The studio was having issues with password sharing, so it seems like a good timing. Just 1 minute later, I found another tape while I was looking around.
Barry was my producer on Miss Rainbow's Berry Patch, the show I created and star in. The show was in trouble, financially and critically. I saw the writing on the wall, heard the rumblings from the studio. I knew I was on the chopping block.
Donna starts saying about Barry, but she corrects herself saying Barry was her producer. So this is a sign that Barry is probably already dead. The show that Donna created was in trouble, financially and critically, and Donna would probably be cut from the show. According to the local newspaper report, it seems Donna really loved the show she created, so seeing everything go wrong and knowing that Barry, the producer of the show, was going to cut her from it, must have driven her to set this tragedy in motion. I've unlocked a flying ability, and above the office there's another puzzle. I have to put every golden fruit here. I didn't explain, but I can upgrade my berry buddies and they change and now start growing better fruits and better berries. And so there's fruit and there's berries, and there's a very rare chance to a golden fruit be produced. So I need all golden fruits. This puzzle will take time. Now I have another friend with eyes, a chainsaw that I can use to break walls faster and to make smoothie to buff my berries grow. And I remember I have a smoothie recipe on the PC, but I don't think we need to make it yet. Probably a puzzle will show in the future, because for now the smoothies don't matter, the recipe make the same buff. Okay, I managed to make the hole consume everything I can access, and it's time to break the next layer of walls. Now I can do the smoothies puzzle. I followed the recipe and I did the correct smoothie and get my third black star. At the office, now there's a smooth calf receipt. And there's 2 new emails in the PC. The first one is Entry Codes Reset, March 10th, 1996. The email is about resetting the passcode since the staff from the studio were allowing friends, family, and visitors into the buildings. The other email is Productions Concerns, an email from Barry to Donna. Barry says about changes needed to the show to lower the costs and that Donna needs to listen the audience criticism and the network heads. Barry also mentioned that they are receiving parent complaints that the show is too scary. It seems that in the show, Miss Rainbow transformed the humans into props to learn their lesson. And there's some props with human eyes in here that I mentioned before. After my progress feeding the hole, I unlocked the ability to break the next and final layer of walls. Now, the last secret will be revealed, and also there's some huge props in here. Exploring around, I found a locked door and a taxi passed through the wall. Okay, The taxi puzzle was very simple. I need to consume the taxi with the hole, and the taxi appears only a short period of time, so I positioned the hole and waited for the taxi, and now I have or 4 black stars, only 3 left. Next to the taxi puzzle is the pin puzzle, and this one took me a while to solve it. After some unsuccessful attempts, I decided to move the hole in here, and it shows the answer. I have to count the pins. So there's the 3 images, the square, the circle, and the triangle, and I have to count the pins until the pins reach the blue giant pin. But while I was solving this puzzle, I found another tape nearby.
That's when I contacted the police. I explained I had just returned to the studio to find the ransom note, and Barry nowhere to be found.
This one is very weird, so Donna herself contacted the police, and after the tape I went back to the pin puzzle and finally solved it. Took me, I don't know, 30 minutes or maybe more, and that's not even that complicated, but anyway. 5 black stars, only 2 left. I found another black star, but I don't know what to do. I assume that I need to consume this giant prop, or maybe all the props remain. I don't know yet how to get this star. A little further ahead, I found one more tape inside the office.
That was about where my original plans ended. I paced around the office before an idea struck me. I fabricated a ransom note. Surely that would lead the police away from the studio pit, at least long enough for me to figure out a long-term plan. I walked the 3 miles to where my car was parked and drove back to the studio.
Donna fabricated a ransom note to distract the police. I finally managed to finish all golden fruits. 6 black stars, only 1 left. That's one that I don't know how to get yet. And another tape. Okay,
This
so
is my
Donna
confession.
recorded all those tapes to confess her crimes, or her crime against Barry, maybe. Probably. And by the way, with all that mess on the screen, took me a
Barry,
while to notice
this
that
is my
3
confession.
tapes in the office. Probably every time I solve a puzzle and get a black star, a tape appears in the office and I didn't notice. So I think maybe appears in the screen and I didn't take. So while I was playing, I didn't manage to pay attention. And yes, took me half of the game to discover that tapes have a CC. Okay, let's listen then.
I poisoned Barry's coffee. It was quicker than I thought it'd be. His mug clattered to the floor as he collapsed. We have an old orchestra pit below the soundstage. We repurposed for the puppeteers and prop storage. So I dragged Barry over, lifted the trap door, and scooted him in. I figured I had a few days tops before someone found him, so I tossed in a few more props. Some gnomes, flamingos, that sort of thing, to cover him a bit.
The first one, Donna confessed that she poisoned Barry and hid his body under the props. Okay, we are missing only 3 tapes, so let's wait until we got out to understand the whole story from the beginning. Also, in the upgrades, there's a main upgrade that costs 5 million coins, that is a star key. I brought the star key for the locked door, and let's find out what will happen. At first, a very fancy corridor with creep smile in the end, and in the way there's a tape, so just 2 more.
And this is where we're at. I'm recording this in my office, and I can't think of any reality where I get away with this. So many questions I've had to answer, reiterating where I was at what time and doing what with who. And I don't think they believe me anymore. Maybe I'm not as good of an actor as I thought. Or maybe I'm more comfortable playing Miss Rainbow than I am Donna Bellinger. I don't think I'm digging myself out of this hole.
In this one, Donna seems very desperate. First, let's continue in the corridor. When I reach the end of the corridor, it's like I am in an episode of the show. There's even a mark on the ground showing where I'm supposed to stand, and I can
Hi
move
there, little
outside the mark.
sprouts. Welcome to lesson time. Today, Miss Rainbow wants to talk about something very important. Something shiny. Can you guess what it is? That's right. Money! Money can buy toys and snacks and big buildings with bright lights. But Money can't buy happiness. Happiness grows on the inside, like a berry on a vine. And if you pull too hard, well, the vine snaps. Some people forget that. They start counting coins instead of counting smiles. They look at numbers and bottom lines instead of all the good they could do in the world. And sometimes they decide that if something doesn't make enough, it doesn't deserve to grow anymore. But gardens don't work that way. You don't rip out the roots because the harvest was modest. Because when greed gets hungry, it doesn't stop eating. And when it's done, there's nothing left but vacant worlds, vacant people. Just take a look at our new friend, Sprouts. What did they do? They destroyed our beautiful garden with their insatiable desire for more, more, more. Never content, always more. Well, if they want to be a greedy little piggy, I can make that happen. So remember, little Sprouts, happiness isn't something you buy. It's something we nurture together.
Well, this is just the first of 4 endings, but not yet the main ending. I will share my take on this first ending, let me know your theories in the comments. I interpreted it as a commentary on our greedy and how we destroy everything in the garden, consume it all in the pursuit for more and more money to buy upgrades and to get more money and to buy upgrades and to get more money, so we consume everything and destroy everything. At the same time, however, he also mirrors Barry's greed. He wanted to cut costs and change the show Donna had created and love it, which infuriated her and drove her to do what she did. I see the pig bank as representing both the player and Barry. So that's my first theory. I like that after the end, in the menu, the pig is staring at us with human eyes. There's only 2 tape left and 3 more ends and 1 more black star. I had already noticed that even after upgrade my buddy to the what I thought was the final level, because in the golden puzzle, I finished the golden puzzle, so there's no more. I thought there's no more upgrade. I thought I have to see all the fruits, but it's still possible to perform 1 more upgrade for 9999 stars. And doing that, this happens. As the ending name says, Belladonna, this end represents Donna poisoning Barry with the Belladonna, and also how Donna feels that Barry in some way destroyed and metaphorically poisoned her garden, her show. The menu again, very cool. Now I spent some time consuming every prop left, but after I did that, nothing happens. So I decided to move the hole where the star or the faded star was, and I noticed there's a passage, and after trying a bit, I managed to get in, and a Belladonna is at the end. Upon arriving there, we obtain the last black star. Going back to the office, another tape, just 1 left.
I am quite the horticulturist. or at least I like to think so. Inside my office, I enter. I am quite the horticulturist, or at least I like to think so. Inside my office, hidden in the back, is an Atropa belladonna, more commonly known as deadly nightshade. Ingesting even a single berry. Why am I explaining this to you? It's in the name.
Donna have a belladonna hidden at her office. Very weird, but that explains how she poisoned Barry. And now, we have all black stars. Finally, we can look to the trash bin on the PC, and after going there, there's burned text files. He deserve. No one will find you. Burn. Bad time for Barry. Rot. Suffer. He deserved it. Rot. Burn. He deserved it. Pomeroy is dead. Nobody will miss you. Also, here's the email that Donna mentioned. April 12, 1996. In this email, Barry says he wants to talk face to face with Donna. Barry hired a new actress to play Miss Rainbow in Donna's place. Another email, one day after, April 13, 1996. The last email is Simon from Holloway Police. He asked to Donna not to tell about the note with the media. This email is just one day after Donna poisoned Barry and did out her plan. There's two new bookmarks websites, a news from April 24, 1996, 12 days after Barry's missing. It says about a fire about Starshine Studios, the studio that produced the Miss Rainbow Berry Pet show. The fire appears to have set intentionally, and most bizarre is one tape was found in pristine condition in an area that otherwise sustained heavy fire and smoke exposure. Very, very weird, and the police took as evidence. The last news is even more curious. August 7, 1997. More than 1 year later, Holloway authorities are investigating a growing number of missing persons cases that appears to be connected by a disturbing common detail: a single VHS tape recovered from the Starshine Studio fire. So, that same tape that was found in perfect conditions in the middle of the fire. 11 individuals are reported missing over the past year, and half were last seen in locations where the same tape was reportedly found inside the VCR. The tape identified as Miss Rainbow's Berry Patch, that has previously been logged into evidence, somehow went missing from the evidence lookup less than 24 hours after it was removed from the studio fire site. The individuals' mission share occupations associated with children, like librarian, daycare worker, and kindergarten teacher. The police remain skeptical about the tape, but nonetheless warn that if anyone finds it, they should not play the tape and should call the police instead. After spending a long time reading and rereading everything, when I look away from the PC, Miss Rainbow was in the door, and you don't understand a massive jump scare I got from this part. But okay, after I almost die in real life, finally our last tape, and also the last tape on the chronological order.
He deserved it. Barry deserved it. He wanted to sanitize my show, burn away my fingerprint from my own creation. The show would go on like I never existed. A rewrite? A recasting? A recasting of history? Reality? No, no, no. I'm the director of this story, and I haven't called cut yet. I'm going to bury under the scorched remains of this place. And no matter how deep you dig, you'll never find him. I'll make sure of it.
In this one, we can see Donna was already crazy, and by the look of it, Donna buried Barry at the studio after the fire, or maybe she buried him first and then set everything on fire. The lighter found in the office suggests that it was her, and also that apparently she either died or took her own life in the fire. Before go to the true ending, let's first get into the tape. So this is Donna's full confession. The entire timeline of the events she described on the tapes, and I will explain to you now. On April 12th, the day of Donna Bellinger's meeting with Barry Pomeroy, Donna began making plans. The workday ends at 2:30 p.m. Donna told Barry she had to take care of a few things and that she'd be back to talk later. She drove her car out of the studio parking lot around 3 p.m., went to the smoothie shop she always visited, parked in a spot nearby, and asked for receipts to have an alibi, proving she had actually been there. Shortly afterwards, she took a taxi back to the studio and asked the driver to drop her off a few blocks away from the studio in case anyone saw her. She entered the building and disabled the security system. Since the studio recently have problems with employees sharing the passcode, she thought this would be a plausible explanation. Donna enjoys gardening, and inside her office, hidden in the back, is an extremely poisonous plant, the belladonna. She poisoned Barry's coffee. Donna dragged Barry to an orchestra pit beneath the studio and threw some props down there with him, gnomes, flamingos, and things like that. To cover her tracks a little more, Donna figured it would take a few days to the police find buried bodies, and that's where Donna's original plan ended. After thinking it over in her office, she came up with an idea. She wrote a ransom note to make the police think Barry had been kidnapped, so thereby diverting them from searching for his body and giving her time to come up with a long-term plan. She walked 3 miles to where her car was parked and drove back to the studio. That's when she called the police, saying she'd found a ransom note and that Barry had disappeared. And now, back in the present, Donna is desperate, thinking there's no way out of this mess since the police are bombarding her with questions about where she was, at what time, and with whom. And the police no longer believe her. She even says that maybe she feels more comfortable playing Miss Rainbow than Donna Bellinger. On the last tape, Donna, completely beside herself, says that Barry deserved it, explaining that he wanted to remove her identity on the show with a new script, a new cast, and a reworking of the story. Donna declares that she is going to bury Barry beneath the ashes of this place, the studio that probably she burned with Barry's body and herself, and adds, no matter how much you dig, you will never find him. I will make sure of that. So, now, let's see the true ending. Inserting the CD or floppy disk, I don't know, near Miss Rainbow burned body, we have Barry.x. And everything went black, and a trapdoor, which is where Barry is buried. Is also, by the way, very difficult to say this phrase because for me it's almost the same word, but okay, anyway, let's continue.
Hello, little sprout. Today, I want to talk to you about something very important. It's called truth. But it seems like you already know the truth. I used to make this show because I wanted to teach kindness. I wanted to help kids grow strong roots. But then, the studio decided my roots weren't exciting enough. They wanted bigger flowers, louder colors, someone more recognizable. They told me it was just business. I gave them everything I had. Songs, lessons, years of my life. Barry said it wasn't personal. It was the studio's decision after all. He lied. It was Barry's idea all along. He promised me I'd still belong here in the world I created. My world, not his. He has his other worlds. Popular, successful, critically acclaimed. His legacy was intact. His future secure. But what about mine? Barry took my garden and handed it to someone else. He buried my work. He buried me. He stopped me from teaching the children how to grow. So instead, I taught Barry Pomeroy how to rot. So here we are, where nobody will ever find us. In this world of my making. No producers, no studio heads, no financial reports. I make the rules here. But I can't do this alone. I need actors, characters, friends. You watched my tape. And now you're here to help create my vision for a brighter, sunnier world forever. Now, let's get out of this dark hole. What do you say?
So this is the true ending. We attacked Miss Rainbow with the chainsaw and the tape was ejected. And let's talk about it. If you notice, almost all the props with eyes, with human eyes actually, was there looking at us. The radio, the bed, the pipe, the wind, everything almost. And the final message is that the 11 survivors say in the end. There we are, a group of newfound friends seeing each other's real faces for the first time. And that damn tape. We talk about telling someone, the police, Barry's family, a psychiatrist, but we knew they wouldn't believe us. As for the tape, we tried burning it, should have known that wouldn't do it. Took a hammer to it, even a chainsaw. Nothing worked. So we dug a hole, a deep, deep hole, and buried it where no one would ever find it. Seemed fitting. We still keep in touch, even outside our trauma support group sessions. It's nice to have new friends. Our counselor talked about the healing benefits of a relaxing hobby, something you can really put your mind into it. She recommended gardening. And well, after seeing the true endings, here's what I think about everything. Donna buried Barry as deep as she could in the studio and set it on fire. She burned to death along with him. There's no reports of her death, so we can't be sure that what happened, but from that point on, the tape became cursed. The tape pulls people into it, into the show, into inside the tape, and there's a lot of details that confirms this, like every new day begins with the VHS tape playing and progressing, and the various objects with human eyes are all the people that the tape or either Donna Bellinger or Miss Rainbow kidnapped and transformed to teach them a lesson. Here are all the objects with human eyes that I noticed in the game. There's a clock in the taxi puzzle that have human eyes. The bed, the magic wand, the computer, the pipe, the hammer, the electric saw, the chainsaw, the radio, the sun, the moon, and the 11th one is probably the game protagonist, and the pig bank I assume it's a representation of Barry. So I think that's all. If you maybe think anything else or maybe other object that I didn't notice, say in the comments. The tape also kidnapped people who were involved in teaching children, such as those who worked in elementary schools, daycare centers, and libraries. We are the 11th person to be kidnapped, and we managed to put an end to Donna or Miss Rainbow and escape from the tape. At the end, it shows that the tape was ejected, saving the other 10 persons, and then the game tells the story of the missing people. Finally, the title changed to Barry, Bury, Barry. And well, that's my theory and interpretation of the game's lore. If I miss anything, Or if you have a different theory or interpretation, let me know in the comments because I'm very curious. I love this game. I showed 3 of the 4 endings. The fourth one is just a joke, so I will let it play while the video ends, okay? Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, please. I'm trying to reach 500 subscribers, so please subscribe to the channel. There's video almost every week. I'll try my best to maintain the goal. And so please subscribe to the channel and leave a like if you enjoy, leave a comment, and I see you in the next video, and enjoy the gnome ending.